is the first day that we're going to start with our Caribbean studies, and I have talked to you a little bit about the centers that we're going to be working in. One of them is going to be about maps. Another group is going to be working on flags. Another group will be working on food with Miss Stevens, and another group is going to be in the computer lab, and you're going to be listening to 3 different types of music. The group that will be going into the computer lab with Miss Doyle is the music group, and Derek, Otis, Zach, Amber.
But you know what?
As I grouped my students today, I was thinking about their special interests, and in particular, I know of a student that really, really loves music, and he's one of the special needs students. So I thought the best way to create some enthusiasm for him, especially in this Caribbean unit, would be to start him in the music center. And as I was thinking about the other students, I tried to consider their special likes. That's a good way to keep the enthusiasm going throughout a unit.
This doesn't work.
No, Haiti is only one part of that, right?
So there's the tip of Florida, and it's like this.
This is Haiti, and this is Dominican.
Oh yeah, that's Florida.
That's right. This is half Haiti, half Dominican.
I try to incorporate some multiple intelligence skills so that students get a chance to do some things that they may not normally get to do in other places, and they have a chance to show what their abilities are in those areas.
Hey, Derek, do you want to listen to this one?
Yeah.
I try to develop some guidelines for each center, and I usually type up a printed sheet of directions with guidelines and things I expect from each student. For instance, with the music group, I gave them a sheet with questions, which I feel is very important for them to be able to not only hear it, but also read it and see it, so that they would know as they were looking and listening to the music that there were certain things that they were to keep in mind and take notes on. In the Flag Center, they were to choose a country within the Caribbean and to create a flag of that country. Later on, we'll go back and study the symbolisms for some of those colors and symbols used in those flags. With the food, they each had a job that was provided to them by myself or the adult that was in charge of that center. I was checking in frequently to make sure that no one was being left out and not participating in the activity.
All right, which one is Cuba? Did you circle Cuba?
Yeah.
And put your name on?
Some of the issues I have to take into account are special needs of particular students, and I knew that Amy Jordan, the inclusion specialist, would be in the room, and that one of the students that was working in her group on flags would especially need her support with some of the physical aspects of creating those flags. And I was planning on him being there today because I knew that I would have her available to me to help with that support.
All right.
I need to see how long this distance is.
First, can you do me a favor? Show me which flag is Cuba. Because I don't know what it looks like. Awesome. Okay, now what size flag are you going to do?
When I am working with regular classroom teachers to try and figure out grouping for children with special needs, to pair them with peers who do not have special needs, I really try to think about what peers will be sensitive to their needs, because a lot of the children that I deal with have some habits that can be perceived by kids as annoying. A lot of kids who aren't aware of their bodies, and so they're kind of on top of kids.
Forgetting that we have Kennedy, keep your body to yourself.
They will ask questions, repeatedly, and some kids have limited patience for that, whether it's because they have limited experience with children like that, or they just have a short fuse for that.
All right.
Good job. And
I'm finished.
nice, huh? Now, you get to pick
Is a great job.
another one to do. You did a nice job,
That
huh?
looks really good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So has anyone done
When trying to plan lessons for children with special needs and working with the classroom teacher to do that, I think the important thing to do is hit on a lot of learning styles, or even breaking down a lesson. So there's the visual component, there's the auditory component, there's, the tactile component. So I think you just really have to try and, present information in as many ways as you can and through as many channels as you can. And I think that that's good teaching practice.
There's a lot of steel drums, and they have a different sound to them, don't they? Yeah. What about what about in the other? What did you think, Derek?
Piano.
Piano.
Yep.
And which maybe in the salsa?
Yeah, and there's also a horn.
There's a what?
There's a horn.
In which type?
The salsa.
In the salsa?
You
Okay.
really need to keep in mind the students, their interests, their abilities, and other students that they work well with. You really need to put them in groups where they can maintain an enthusiasm for your classroom and that they can feel success.